People sometimes ask me why I learned sign language. It's because I was inspired by a woman when I was traveling off the east coast of Canada called Sable Island, the mystical land of the horses, spoken about in Farley Mowat and Margaret Atwood books. There was very famous people on this expedition. Alex Trebek from Jeopardy, his wife, and the woman that inspired me was the girlfriend of one of the famous people. On our last night, everyone at dinner was telling their stories of their life, these grandiose stories. When it came time for the woman beside me, she declined humbly and said, "You don't want to hear my story. It's not exciting." After some coaxing, she recounted that her life when she was younger, she was a professional skier. But in a tragic accident, she lost both her legs, and so she decided she would become a doctor who heals and helps those who injure themselves in sports. On her third year of university, her girlfriend offered an opportunity for work to teach summer school. And when she arrived on her first day, the principal said, "Okay, you're in this room, and the other teacher, you're in that room." Immediately, she walked back out of her room and she said, "I think you put me in the wrong room. There's 8 10-year-old deaf children in this room." The principal turned to her and said, "I actually don't have another class for you to teach. These children are getting into trouble, and if you could babysit them, that would be great." To which the woman replied, "I don't think they need a babysitter. I think they need someone that can sign." At that point of the story, I knew something was going to change in her life. You could tell immediately. The principal replied, "There's no one here that speaks sign language, and the parents don't speak sign language, so if you could just babysit them for now, that would be great." It was at that point that the woman realized that it was best for her to start learning sign language, as she was going to change her life once again. She decided to quit school where she was and start attending school at Gallaudet University in America, the school for deaf, where she learned math, science, geography, history, English, and she kept going back and forth and teaching these children. She concluded her story by saying that 4 days before she arrived at Sable Island, she received an email from one of her students who just turned 24 years old, and she just received her master's. I was absolutely in tears by the time her story was done, as I am most times when I tell the story. I was inspired so much that after 1 week of hearing this woman's story, I was enrolled at Deaf Access Simcoe Muskoka up in Barrie so I could start taking classes. I had my first class 2 weeks after I heard that woman's story, and I went to class every Wednesday for almost 6 years. I don't even know the woman's name, but she inspired my life ever since, and I can't thank her enough for having that kind of a story to share. If I have a story to share, I would want it to be one that's as inspiring as that, and that's why I sign.